King Solomon's ring. King Solomon was a wise man, and many believed that the source of his wisdom was a magic ring. This is the story of how that ring came to be. King Solomon had amongst his guards his best friend, Benaiah. They had both grown up together, and Benaiah was now the captain of King Solomon's guard, and whatever King Solomon said or asked, Benaiah would do. One day, King Solomon overheard Benaiah bragging in front of the rest of the guards. I, Benaiah, can do anything King Solomon asks me to do. There's nothing too hard or too difficult. There's no task I cannot accomplish. King Solomon got a little bit concerned. He worried that Benaiah was becoming a little bit too proud, and he thought it was time to teach him a lesson. So he called Benaiah in, and Benaiah came straight away. Your Majesty, what may I do for you? Benaiah, said the king, I have heard of a magic ring. A ring that if a happy man looks at it, he becomes sad. And if a sad man looks at it, he becomes happy. I want that ring. Oh, Your Majesty, I will get it for you. You do not worry. I'll get it for you straight away. Benaiah, this might be a difficult task, so I will give you 6 months to find the ring. Ah, you shan't worry, Your Majesty. I shall find it in no time, said Benaiah, and off he went. The king was left with a twinkle in his eye, for he knew no such ring existed. Benaiah went out into the marketplace of the great city of Jerusalem, and there he spoke to every goldsmith, every silversmith, every jeweler, and he asked about this magic ring, but no one had heard of it. And so Benaiah realized that he had to go beyond the walls of the city and out where the caravans were parked. Caravans that came from all corners of the world. And he spoke to each and every one of those caravans and asked about this magic ring. But still, no one had heard of it. So Benaiah went out into the countryside, and he went through the country of Israel, and he went to every village and every town and every city, and everywhere he asked about this magic ring. But no one had heard of it. Benaiah reached the borders of the country, and he went out into Syria and Mesopotamia, and there he asked about this magic ring, the ring that if a happy man looks at it, he becomes sad, and if a sad man looks at it, he becomes happy. But still, nothing. No one had ever seen it, and no one had ever heard of it. So time was now running out, and Benaiah had to return to Jerusalem with only 1 day left to complete his quest. On this last day, Benaiah thought it wouldn't hurt to ask again, so again he went to the marketplace, and again he received the same answer. No one had heard about this ring. Oh, what am I to do? When he was about to give up, he came across a boy, a merchant with a very humble string of gold around his neck. Boy, have you ever heard of a ring? A ring that can make a happy man sad and a sad man happy? No, sir, never heard of such a thing, said the boy. Oh, but I have, said a deep voice from within the shop. This was the child's grandfather, the owner of the shop and a jeweler. The man came out. I can make you a ring like that. You can? Said Benaiah. Indeed I can. And so the old man took a very plain, simple gold band, and in it he very carefully engraved 3 words. Gam Zi Javar. Benaiah took the ring, he looked at it, and his face lit up. This is it! This is the ring that I've been looking for! I found it! Thank you so much! Thank you, 1,000 times thank you! Benaiah took the ring and went straight back into the palace and straight into the crown room, where he found King Solomon entertaining some guests. There was fine wine and food and music, and everybody was having a wonderful time. King Solomon was very, very happy, and he was very happy to see Benaiah. Benaiah, my friend, you've returned. I am so pleased to see you. And I'm so sorry I sent you on that quest. Your Majesty, I've returned and I've brought the ring. You have? The king couldn't believe it. He took the ring in his hands and he focused on the inscription and he read, Gam Zi Javar. And he lifted his eyes and he looked around his beautiful palace and the magnificent party that was taking place, and his face dropped. Oh, you have found it. The king removed his ruby ring, the one that had always been around his finger. He took it out and he gave it to Benaiah as a gift, and he replaced it with that simple gold band with that very powerful inscription. Gam Zi Javar. This too shall pass. Every day the king would look at that ring, and in time he learned to appreciate the good times and to not be too concerned about the bad ones, because they too will pass.